Welcome back, everybody. Let's do this very quickly. Simplify n plus 1 c4 minus n minus 1 c4. That's the same as n plus 1 factorial over n plus 1 minus 4 factorial minus n minus 1 factorial over n minus 1 minus 4 factorial and that's the same as n plus 1 factorial over n minus 3. Of course, n plus 1 minus 4 factorial is going to be n minus 3 factorial 4 factorial minus n minus 1 factorial over n minus 1 minus 4 factorial is going to be n minus 5 factorial 4 factorial. Now I want to expand n plus 1 factorial such that it contains n minus 3 factorial. How do I do that? That's the same as n plus 1 times n plus 1 minus 1 times n plus 1 minus 2 times n plus 1 minus 3 times n plus 1 minus 4 factorial. This is the same as n minus 3 factorial. So that's why I'm going to stop there. All over n minus 3 factorial 4 factorial. Now the second fraction, which is this, is the same as, that's minus, I also want to expand n minus 1 factorial such that it contains n minus 5 factorial. And that's going to be n minus 1 times n minus 2 times n minus 3 times n minus 4 times n minus 5 factorial all over n minus 5 factorial 4 factorial. Now we can make the fractions simpler. Okay, before I do that, let me write the first fraction is going to become n plus 1 times n plus 1 minus 1 is the same as n times n plus 1 minus 2 is the same as n minus 1 times n plus 1 minus 3 will be n minus 2 and n plus 1 minus 4 factorial will be n minus 3 factorial all over n minus 3 factorial 4 factorial minus the second fraction is n minus 1 times n minus 2. In fact, I don't need to rewrite the second fraction. I can just cancel here. N minus 5 factorial will cancel n minus 5 factorial and I'm going to be left with that minus n minus 1 times n minus 2 times n minus 3 times n minus 4 over 4 factorial. So that's equal to n, let me write n first, n times n plus 1 times n minus 1 times n minus 2 times, should I be writing or cancel? I should cancel first. So here n minus 3 factorial will cancel n minus 3 factorial and then I'll be left with that's equal to n. I can write this n first, n times n plus 1 times n minus 1 times n minus 2 over 4 factorial minus n minus 1 times n minus 2 times n minus 3 times n minus 4 over 4 factorial. Now let me try and write the two fractions on a single line so it's easy for us to see what we're supposed to do. Times n minus 2 over 4 factorial minus, I hope that space contains it, n minus 1 times n minus 2 times n minus 3 times n minus 4 over 4 factorial. Now I can see that n minus 1 times n minus 2 is common to the two numerators. Or before I even do that, let me find the LCM is 4 factorial. 4 factorial is actually 24, but let me write it as 4 factorial here. Now I can see that the numerator will be n times n plus 1 times n minus 1 times n minus 2 minus n minus 1 times n minus 2 times n minus 3 times n minus 4. Now I can see that n minus 1 times n minus 2 is common to the two terms at the numerator. So that's what I'm going to factor out of the numerator. That's n minus 1 times n minus 2 into bracket. Here I'll be left with n times n plus 1. And here I'll be left with n minus 3 times n minus 4. That's minus n minus 3 times n minus 4 all over. I know that 4 factorial is 4 times 3 times 2 times 1, which is 24, and that's equal to, I can expand this, n minus 1 times n minus 2 is the same as n squared minus 3n plus 2. If you do that, if you expand that, simply you're going to get n squared minus 3n plus 2 into bracket. N times n plus 1 is going to be n squared plus n minus open bracket. When you multiply n minus 3 by n minus 4, you are going to get n squared minus 7n plus 12 all over 24. All over 24. You must be careful here to make sure that you put n squared minus 7n plus 12 in brackets, and that's the same as n squared minus 3n plus 2 times, I'm opening the brackets now, n squared plus n, I'm opening the brackets here now, minus n squared plus 7n minus 12 all over 24. And now I can see that n squared minus n squared is 0, and then I'm going to have n squared minus 3n plus 2 times n plus 7n is 8n minus 12. 8n minus 12 over 24, which simply means n squared minus 3n plus 2. 4 is common to 8n and minus 12, so I'm going to bring it out, times 4 times 2n minus 3 over all over 24. Now here I can say 4 here 1, 4 here 6, and that simply means 1 over 6 times n squared minus 3n plus 2 times 2n minus 3, which is the same as 1 over 6 times n squared times 2n, that will be 2n cubed, n squared times minus 3, that's minus 6n squared, minus 3n squared rather, n squared times minus 3 is minus 3n squared. Now the next one will be minus 3n times 2n, that's minus 6n squared, and the next is minus 3n times minus 3, that's plus 9n, and now 2 times 2n, that's 4n, and then 2 times minus 3, which is minus 6. So the final answer is going to be 1 over 6 into bracket 2n cubed minus 3n squared minus 6n squared is minus 9n squared. 9n plus 4n is 13n. This is minus 9n squared plus 13n minus 6. And that's it, very, very simply. Thank you very much, and I'll catch you in the next. Bye-bye.